皆様、フレンド4のミティックリーグへようこそ。こんな大人数のプレイヤーを集めて大会をするのはものすごく久しぶりです。FOF の歴史に刻まれているプレイヤーたちに新しいシーズンが新しいプレイシステムと現れました。全王者、ベテラン、ルーキー、みんなが狙うチャンピオンのタイトル、私と共にプレイヤーたちに歓迎を。マルチファイナリストダックスが戻ってから調子のいいチームブルーバイユーズキャプテン外交選手が引きずるエスケープ選手、ウォーリーダー選手、レズーザー選手。前回の敗北の復讐は果たせるのか、今季こそ優勝は取れるのか。戦場から長い休憩を取っていたガオーガ選手、ベテラン選手、アンタイ選手、ピョーラマ選手、ルル選手、テフ選手と戻りました。チームスーパーレイトリビュール。ベテランの知識と経験の詰まったチーム。ミティックリーグで優勝は叶うのか。ベテランとアマチュアが混ざっているチームイーク。キャプテンレッツゴージョイ選手とイリナ・サンダーがルーキー XT 選手、アキゼーション選手、コンシー選手との連携が気になりますね。認められたいルーキーたち、経験たっぷりの敵にどう対応していくのでしょうか。最近立ち上がったチームファットピカチュウ。スンドゥブ選手がリングへ立ち向かう。アマチュアプレイヤーココノット選手、ドヤン選手、ブラックピンクトラッシュ選手、ケイシー選手。先輩たちの経験はない。王者の席は味わえる。ストリートスマーフ選手とワープレイグ選手が新しく立ち上げたチームスケーリングコピアン。FF の歴史に名前が残っている先輩プレイヤーに頼る。ブルーン21選手、ミスターサグスモーク選手、キットカット選手。ファイナルに毎回足を踏んでいるストリートスマーフ選手。今回もファイナルで足を入れる。4期ヘリオスチャンピオン、前々1期チャンピオンアントゥンズ選手とオールスタープレイヤーたち、ジャフィー選手、リーブズ選手、ウルトラワックス選手。出来上がっているチームトリコーダウンエコノミクス2ストンクスライジング。センスあふれるチームですね。心が痛むほどの前回の負け。4期ヘリオスチャンピオンチームレックス・レガーデスがちょっとの休みから大会へ戻りました。ジョシー選手、ラーファー選手、アルクバタリー選手。 FOF で顔見知りのルーキーアニーウイ選手とスマックス選手と手を組む。2人のルーキーは FOF では顔見知りですが、こういった大きい大会には慣れています。前回チャンピオンたちはまた優勝のタイトルを取れるのか。3回も優勝を FOF で勝ち取ったチームユニバーサルベーシックインカム。レッド選手、ユーティリティモンスター選手、シボロック選手、ジェフ・ゴードゲーマー選手、ブライアン・ゼング選手が戻った。1年の長いバトルを超えてミティックリーグへ出向かう。 FOF で王朝を作り上げたこのチームを倒せるチームはいるのか。
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the very first match of FOF Mythic. We're here in Season 6, starting it off with a banger. We got Rex Regalis versus Scaling Copium. I'm Spencer Ultravox Cameraman, joined by Bill the Pony. And Bill, are you hyped up for today?
I'm really psyched. This is actually my first time ever casting. I was expecting to cast the second block of games, but I am helping out as is my job and my duty and my personality. So I'm here, I'm hyped, and I apologize in advance.
Hey man, it's gonna be all good. It's gonna be all good. We're here to have a good time, watch some quality League of Legends, and I bet that's exactly what we're gonna get today. Let's start jumping into this draft here. Bans flying on the board already. Kog'Maw, Twitch, and Lulu. So lots of scaling bot lane picks taken off the board by Rex Regalis. Meanwhile, on the other side, we got Pyke banned, Victor, and Scaling Copium's considering the last one. I think I saw some discussion in the Discord about some fear over Smax's Pyke.
Is Sivir still going to be available here? I want to see, because that's been a contentious pick lately in LCS as well as in the Heroic League. There it is, first off the board.
Yeah, I was playing Clash with Alk, Joshi, and Rafa the other day, and they forced poor Alk to just play B1 Sivir for 3 games. So it's tough, but you know, you kind of get over the fact that the pick is boring. The competitive spirit in you wants to win, right? And B1 Sivir is one of those strategies that most enables that. So answer could be Lucian to pair with this Nami for some bot lane strength here. I think that could be pretty good.
Yeah, we'll have to wait and see for that. I was playing Sivir the other day in a game, and I'm a support main, but I still played Sivir, and I stomped. That's how easy it is to play Sivir these days, and how strong she is in general. There it is. There's that Lucian.
Yeah, you heard it here first. It's just that easy. All right, now, as a support player, what do you think of this matchup?
Well, obviously you are stronger earlier with the dominating Lucian Nami, probably taking Electrocute despite the recent nerfs to it. I think it's still the best pick with Lucian for snowballing your laning phase. We'll look for probably a roaming tank support potentially coming in somewhere with this Sivir, because Sivir doesn't really need somebody in lane with her. You can roam and you can open up things on the map, which I think Rex would look to do.
Yeah, definitely. They are looking to be a pretty macro-focused team. They do like that scaling style and just getting advantages across the map, so could definitely agree with that. I think with Lulu also taken away, that's one of the major enchanter supports gone to. I can maybe see Janna if they wanted to opt for that, but it looks like they will instead opt to pick up solo lanes, and this is something that we saw yesterday in the LCS. If you guys were watching the broadcast, you pick your solo lanes. Now red side, they will pick both, and so you're able to protect one of your solo lanes with bans now as blue. So it's going to be tougher to answer this Azir, answer this Ornn. They will be able to kind of cover their backs a little bit, and even still, it's so hard to punish Ornn for some of these top lane players we've seen. But Set is going to be the answer.
It's really interesting when you look at the point distributions for this team. We've got a massive amount of points for Scaling Copium coming out of their bot lane duo, so they prioritize those picks. Rex, I would expect, would look to try and get better picks against Scaling Copium to try and get their solo lanes ahead with the help of their jungle. Picking out these solo lanes really early is very interesting, because it's giving them that opportunity for the counter pick with Scaling Copium.
Yeah, I do kind of agree with that. Not really an opportunity to just smash lane here for Bayor. Instead, just the rock on the Ornn. Maybe not too scared about friendly Voidling's top lane prowess. Gonna be interesting to see what the jungle matchup is, though. That's also where some of the weakness might reside for Scaling Copium. I do believe that Bloon is also a silver player, so we're gonna have to see if they're able to stand up to the rest of the competition.
To be fair, they were gold last season, and I believe that they are in their promos right now for gold 4.
Oh, let's go! Let's go! All right, Bloon, I'm rooting for you out there. Let's do it. Get those promos. Get back.
Unfortunately, this match won't count towards your promos, but you know what? You'll get the confidence from this match if you win, and can take it right back to your promo series.
Absolutely. Put it right back into solo queue. Now, final bans are going to be coming up. We have Vi off the table for Rex Regalis. They're considering their last one. Poppy and Yuumi also banned away by Scaling Copium. Yuumi, one of those last few super good scaling enchanters, so I can see why they don't want that with the Sivir. If you have to face Yuumi or Nazir, oh man, how do you ever compete in the late game? It's just a time bomb.
Yeah, and then we saw the Anivia come off here as well. I think they're worried about that early pressure from the Vi, and then the Anivia as well controlling space very well in the team fights.
Yeah, definitely. Anivia's a pretty great pick versus Sivir, just because of Sivir's short effective range compared to some other AD carries. You can kind of take advantage of that and slow her down, help the rest of your team set something up on her. Will be a Sylas in mid lane for Street Smurf. I do believe he does favor this pick, has a lot of experience on it, so it's going to be a treat to watch. Great ults to steal as well. The Ornhorn is the big one for team engage or counter engage. You can also grab the Emperor's Divide from Azir, help your team out with some anti-engage as well. And also on the hunt from Sivir, setting your team up with that extra move speed, and it also reduces the cooldown off of your basic abilities, so real good stuff for Sylas here.
Especially with an ability-based ability-based team here. We've got the Nami coming in with that speed boost as well. A lot of people don't recognize that when you cast your ult through your team, it speeds everybody up. So if we've got a Sivir ult on top of a Nami ult here that's been stolen away by Sylas, I think that we would look for some very aggressive engage.
Definitely. Now, we have the Bard selected for Smax in the support position. This is what he said he would pick if Pyke was banned this game. So, talk some trash in the Discord, following it up. A man of his word, it seems, and Wukong rounding out the draft, bringing that early pressure for Rafa in the jungle. Really like to see this. The team fighting power from Rex is not to be underestimated.
Absolutely. I'm seeing a lot of disengage potential here too. While we are looking at Nami ult coming in and the team being potentially sped up significantly, especially with this Hecarim here as well, you've got a lot of anti-dive. Ornn can engage fights, but you can also disengage fights. We've got a Azir ult that can disengage. We've got the Bard ult that can disengage. There's a lot here, and the Sivir ult of course as well. So a lot here that they can play back the fights and take the fights that they want to take on their terms.
For sure. Lots of different options. I do like the Hecarim for scaling Copium too. Gives them that extra go button that they need to try to make these fights happen. Very excited to see how this one plays out. Let's go head onto the Rift and take a look. Game 1, baby. Rex versus YOLO, and here we are. Looks like YOLO is going to be grouping up. Maybe they're going to try for an invade. Probably going to be a standard 5-point fan from Rex. Their level 1 is definitely pretty bad. Azir's not really a character, so probably want to play it safe.
Absolutely. I think with Rex, they definitely are going to be interested in identifying this and getting vision on the other side of the map. It looks like Street Smurf's team is definitely pushing in to get that vision, and yeah, I was surprised to see that Rex's team here did not rotate back up to get their own vision on the other side of the map.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a differential there, so kind of just wards exchanged in the river. Nothing really too great gained. I think they do know that Rafa's probably going to be starting on the top side now. I don't know if they're going to be able to predict a side switch here, but it'll be pretty good. Jungle is starting at each of their respective blue buffs, so they're going to be clearing opposite, making it so that they can miss each other. Clearly, Rafa wants to start focusing on this bot side, try to make something happen with Smax, who's got that guaranteed CC. A little bit strange that they want to try to put the Ornn behind, though, with Bloons pathing. I think that a much better target would be trying to gank this bot side with the Lucianami.
Yeah, ultimately it looks like both of them are kind of pathing to, at least from a point standpoint, they're weaker lanes. And so it'll be interesting to see if this was just to counter how much of a difference there is in terms of rankings in the bot versus top sides.
Yeah, right. That's one of the major things we have to look at here. How are Bloon and Friendly Voidling going to perform? How are they going to compete with the rest of these players? Because Street Smurf, Mr. Thugsmoke, and I think Warplaque too have been FOF veterans. They've definitely proven their prowess. And yeah, there's Friendly Voidling getting aggressive. So he at least knows what's up. You know, he knows how to play the game there. That's good for him.
Absolutely. I was right after all. The Nami did take the Electrocute despite the nerfs recently. And we'll also note that Lucian took Exhaust here, which I've been seeing more and more. A lot of people consider Exhaust to be very overpowered these days. So we have Exhaust versus Heal on the AD carries on each side.
Yeah, I really like Exhaust. Sivir has low effective range, so you get an opportunity to use it. Really great trade from Mr. Thugsmoke and Warplaque there, taking advantage of the level 2 Lucian Nami power spike. I think, if you're talking about the Electrocute nerfs, I think that that's next patch, so I don't think it's coming quite yet. That's on 12.17.
I believe it. I believe it.
But yeah, good trades across the map for YOLO. They are starting to put some of their early power into effect here. Biora trying to position the wave in a good spot for him, and Alk Battery's taking another chunk of damage. Mr. Thugsmoke is relentless, and now this is where it gets really hard to play. You got no more pots left. All you got to rely on are these Bard healing kits.
And this is where we're looking at the jungle pathing again, right? They're almost done with their full clears, both elected to full clear here. And there could have been a potential here for a dive in bot lane with how much they have poked them down early and the way they've been stacking this wave. But instead, Wukong is there to protect against the dive, and Hecarim's going to actually be on the top side of the map where his top laner is pushing in. So both of them are choosing to protect, full clear, and be more on a protective path against their more aggressive lanes instead of trying to punish early with early aggression.
Yeah, I really like how you pointed that out. It leaves a lot of room to maneuver here. Alk Battery gets the spell shield off this time in that trade. Saves a little save. Yeah, we got to keep waiting on the edge of our seats. Now, Bloon is here in mid, going to be ghosted in, trying to get in onto Joshi. Knocks him to the side, not really the direction ideal for the gank. Doesn't get anything out of Joshi either, and expends the ghost. That's gonna be a little costly for YOLO.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it'll turn around pretty quickly on the cooldown for that. It is something spent for nothing. I think they get some pressure here and help Sylas continue to hold control over this lane at this point. But I would expect, I don't know mid lane all that well, I would expect Azir to kind of get a little bit more poke on being more of a ranged champion than the Sylas there. But it looks like Sylas has a better health bar at this point.
Yeah, it's a little bit tough. Sylas just kind of gets to schmoove through the wave with his E and get onto Azir almost for free. If you're not just spamming soldiers too, because that auto pushes the wave, then you're relying on just your auto attacks, and Sylas can kind of just dash up in you. So evens out the trades with the Kingslayer, makes it a little bit harder for the Azir to play. I would say it's probably Sylas favored in the early game, but here's Rafa in the top side trying to get in on a friendly Voidling. Health bar drops, Haymaker comes out, forces the flash away. Friendly Voidling felt threatened. I don't know. I don't really think that flash was necessary. And good man Rafa helping his teammate crash this wave.
Yeah, absolutely. That's critical here. They're really happy with getting that flash, despite Beora spending a lot of his health bar. Well, your health doesn't matter if you're about to reset anyway. So getting that crash in there and getting the flash off of it, I think was a very valuable play for him.
Yeah, 100%. It's going to be super positive for Rex. They will probably want to revisit this for a gank later on if available. Now we're seeing Beora head back to the lane. TP's back. Got 3 cloth armor in the inventory and looking to crash another one. Trying to catch up in CS here versus the small lead that Friendly Voidling has built up.
Yeah, and both jungles are kind of on an interesting path right now. They're going away from their first buff that's going to spawn here. And so I think if they can clear it in time, it'll be efficient, but there's a possibility of their buffs hanging out there for a little while. And oftentimes they're looking at that to try and be that level 6 spike for the jungler, which in the case of both of these junglers is very strong power spike.
Yeah, but look at this Street Smurf getting on in, steals the Emperor's Divide, trying to find the kill onto Joshi, who flashes away, and Smacks is here now to back him up. Street Smurf drops a little bit lower. Now Warplaque has joined the fray as well, but no kill to be found. Gets Azir's flash and sends Joshi on back, but Joshi's got the TP in the back pocket. Now, something I'm wondering if they're going to try to pull off is this early Rift Herald play, because, being casters, being big fans of the game, putting pressure up on the Rift Heralds is a huge thing in pro play, right? And they love that. When I was playing Clash with them the other day, I want to see if they're going to be able to pull Smacks up here, keep him around, get this early Rift Herald going. They What they will get going is this kill onto Bloon. Health bar dropping pretty low. Joshi takes the first blood. That's going to be a fantastic start to this for Rex. Now, Emperor's Divide pushes Street Smurf back into the waiting arms of Rafa. Street Smurf has to walk away. It's a man disadvantage for YOLO here, and they can't find too much more. Looks like Herald is the target, but Street Smurf gets the wave in.
Yeah, poor Bloons. He looked a little bit confused there. He runs up into the top lane just to say hi to Ornn up there, and then ultimately runs back to the river. They knew exactly where he was because of that, and were able to collapse on him very easily. So he looked a little bit lost there in the river and exactly what he wanted to do or what the team wanted to do at that point in time.
Yeah, and it will end up costing him his life. Now take a look at this map rotation here. We have Alec Battery moved up into the mid lane, and it's going to be a complete trade. Dragon, the first dragon of the game, Mountain Drake, goes over to YOLO for free. And poor Friendly Voidling is going to get rolled up on by almost the whole team here. Does its dance, sent to the Shadow Realm, and the Herald is the next target for Rex. Objectives traded on the map, but an extra kill in the pockets of Rex has got to feel pretty good.
Yeah, sometimes I get tricked by that as well. I recognize, yeah, they're on Herald. Okay, we're giving this Herald. That's okay. But then they decide, well, we don't need to hit Herald right now. They're not contesting us right now. Let's just walk up and kill their top laner and then take Herald. And so I think he was found a little bit surprised there while his team's, safely taking Dragon on the bot side.
Yeah, it's going to be a little bit tough. Just kind of sucks there if you're Friendly Voidling. You got to stay aware, but it's okay. It's okay. So maybe recoverable. Dragon stacking going to be the way to victory for YOLO here. They have this bot lane pressure. They're mounting that small CS lead there in bottom and in mid. Going to be feeling pretty good. I think they're going to find very early Dragon takes for at least the next two. It's on 3rd and 4th Drake when it's going to be hard, but look at Joshi with a fancy move in mid. Does the shuffle, pushes Street Smurf back, gets the flash as a result.
Absolutely, and I think fortunately Rex is recognizing that they are a scaling comp. We saw Sivir go for the Cole there. She's looking for that future gold. They're not trying to push super aggressive here on the bot side of the map, and they recognize, hey, we've got a timetable here. As long as we don't do anything stupid here, we're in a good chance of outscaling this other team. As long as we don't go and die and end their bot lane.
Yeah, 100%. They know that this gold is going to accelerate them more than the Dragons possibly could. They'll get strong and then fight the Dragons later, leaning on that super common pro play strategy that is all too familiar to them. So going to be working out pretty well. Joshi now 2-0, has the Lost Chapter almost on that Luden's Echo, turns him into a pretty formidable poke champion here. All the while, it'll be pretty good, but Friendly Voidling trying to find Baora. He's up here with Bloon.
A little bit of trouble here.
And the ult will... Bloon can't make it through the wall. Flashes the mastery. Yeah, that feels pretty bad.
Yeah, I think that might be just a little bit of first game jitters. This is day 1. And again, we mentioned that the Copium team has most of their points down the bot lane. So I think, while seeing gold doesn't make you a terrible player, I think that it can put a lot of pressure on you when you are competing against people. Personally,
100% big engagement on the bot side. Thug Smoke pops the culling. Now Joshi and Street Smurf somehow traded places while we weren't looking. Joshi trying to get his way out of there, but the bot lane from YOLO is pulling up. He has no flash. He has no E either. He's just going to be going down in this pit. Shutdown goes over to the Street Smurf. Exactly the man you want that shutdown on.
Absolutely. They've been doing a really good job of giving over those kills. They definitely intentionally gave the earlier kill to Azir, and now on the other side of things, they're making sure that it gets on the Street Smurf.
Yeah, you love to see it. They've identified, who's going to be the strong points on their teams, who are they going to rely on to carry. I think it's going to work out quite well that way. Now, Street Smurf almost on this Everfrost. I'd love to see him get this and maybe head on down to bot lane. I'd love to see a 4-man dive, punish the weakness of the Sivir early and really take advantage of what you've got in your bot lane. But speaking of bot lane, Thug Smoke under fire here, drops down so low, smacks, autos him down. They're looking for more on Warplaque. Able to get away with the speed, though. Now they're going to push this wave. They have the Herald, should they so choose. A lot of money going over either way. Yeah, there it is.
Yeah, I think that Copium's in a tough spot here. We're talking about only 12 minutes into the game, but you still, have don't have an advantage anymore. You had a 200 gold advantage before that crash. You don't have a gold advantage anymore against a team that outscales you. So again, we talked about the jungle pathing, and they work towards their weaker sides of the map, and I really love to see Copium putting more pressure onto their bot side of the map and getting
Great
kills
Bartle.
and gold.
Great Bard ult by Smacks. Warplaque, though, able to get out of there. Takes a little bit of extra damage, but they're all good. Yeah, like you said, no lead here is losing versus this incredibly high scaling team. This is exactly what they want. They want to find advantages where they can, otherwise play a quiet game, keep on scaling up. I heard some irony being pointed out earlier. In terms of the names, Scaling Copium is the one on the timer from the scaling composition.
Absolutely. We got less than 20 seconds on this dragon spawn. Again, bot side, or the red side, has to get these dragons stacking. That's their part of their win conditions. So we'll look for probably a team fight potentially coming here unless the Rex decides to let this one go as well.
I think it's very realistic that Rex just decides to let it go, but it does seem like they're walking Baora on the Ornn down. Another very common strategy. They've decided that you can just sack the CS in top, that wave will just crash. You're here with an advantage now on the bot side. Rex has the control, and they can start taking the dragon here. And ultimately, Scaling Copium is the ones that have to give it up without a fight. They're way too late.
Yeah, I mentioned the disengage earlier. You know, there's a lot of tools for this team to just walk away from you, and so it's hard for them to actually get into this river potentially, with Azir being able to push them back out or Bartle being able to stall.
Ghost pop by Bloon. Look at this. Baora tries to set up the Ornn Horn in the choke point. Bloon just takes some damage and has to gallop away. Feels really bad. Baora gets this teleport back to top side. Ultimately, just one wave lost for the top laner, so nothing too bad at all. And YOLO can't find any type of counterpunch at all off of this. They're just stuck now at a huge disadvantage. Sure, they got their resets off, but they lost the dragon. Like you said, one of the key paths to victory for them.
Yeah, and I was going to mention it earlier. We have that teleport difference in the top lane. So being able to just walk him down, walk Baora down, and then just teleport right back top, he really doesn't lose much at all for that play.
Absolutely. Will suffer a little bit in lane now that Friendly Voidling has finished Blade of the Ruin King, but ultimately Ornn is just built to soak XP, be useful later. You know, those Ornn items are going to be coming online in just 4 more levels. So timer is rapidly ticking. Flash forward from Friendly Voidling, though. Does not find anything onto Baora. Able to get that charge out of there.
It looked like they were even considering a dive as Street Smurf was walking up, but then the collapse from Rex is making him rethink that idea.
Yeah, super smart from Rex. They're able to read the intentions of Scaling Copium here, and they've left Alk Battery all by his lonesome in the bot side, able to get this very early turret here thanks to the Rift Herald already putting a massive chunk into that. The map movements from Rex have just been superb. But look at this teleport. Alk's got to watch out. Could end up getting solo killed.
Street Smurf.
Street Smurf's on the hunt. Just runs right on in. Alk finishes up the wave. We'll get that as a consolation prize. Steals the Sivir ultimate as well, and we'll just be putting a lot of damage into Alk. Solo kill goes over easily. But at what cost? Now Rex, they're able to get this Herald. Again, uncontestable.
That's huge. All this early gold, you know, they're trading back a little bit on Copium, but ultimately all this early gold is going onto a scaling comp and is going to cause problems for them pretty quick here.
Yeah, wholeheartedly agree. It seems like Rex is able to get every objective that they want. Is that a deer down there? That looks super cool. I never looked at that before. Anyway, yeah, Rex able to get whatever they want. And it's so hard to oppose them if you're YOLO. The map movements have been so hard to answer. You've got Alk just being that macro pressure, taking that turret. You can't answer the Herald if you answer him. Now in mid lane, this is a big fight. Cyclone comes out from Rafa, knocking up Mr. Thug Smoke. The damage is there. They will be finishing him off. The bot lane from YOLO dropped in an instant. Now this mid lane turret is the next target. And if you're able to crack this, you can get very aggressive moving to the next stage of the game.
Yeah, it looks like they're establishing a bit of a 1-3-1 here, but they do not have the wave clear on their bot lane that at this point was in the mid lane in order to actually establish a 1-3-1 very well. So it was very well punished by Rex.
Yeah, for sure. Very clean kill we saw from Friendly Voidling, able to prevent the knockups from coming in by using the showstopper. I like to see that. But Herald gets 2 turrets in mid, widens the gold lead to about... actually, that's just about a 1k gold diff. I thought it would be more, you know?
About 1,500,
Nuts.
yeah.
Yeah, nuts. I thought it would be way more.
I immediately go and double check whether they have first strike on their team, but they don't.
Yeah, no first strike Lucian here, as is popular by some people. PTA's way better, though, no matter how you look at it. That's just facts. Yeah, so 1.5k gold lead, about a 1k gold lead here in this game right now for Rex. Like we said before, if YOLO doesn't have the gold lead, they're losing, so still very, very tough to contend with. Now, might be a dive onto Ulk. Instead, they're going to look at Smacks. Bubble does whiff.
And here's an example of a 1-3-1 that works, right? We have a Sivir on the mid lane who's amazing in the 1-3-1 because she has so much wave clear. And it's so hard to dive when she can spend 2 seconds using 2 of her abilities and clear the entire wave. It's so hard to dive with no wave with this team comp. They don't have a Volibear or somebody who can turn off the turret. At this point in the game, they really can't pull that off. And so great job to Rex recognizing that, and they're getting a lot of XP in their side lanes.
Yeah, for sure. They've forced YOLO out here to group up as 5. They're looking for a fight over this next dragon, just spawning in just about 15 seconds. It's all about the river control here, which YOLO certainly has. Not going to be able to manage the lanes, though. Getting push in mid is something that Joshi always talks about when he's addressing macro. Very important, because if you win this dragon fight, then you might be able to get the mid lane turret, even the inhibitor. Could be a difficult fight here for YOLO now. There's a lot on the line. They're just squaring off, you know, emoting at each other. Doing this Friendly Voidling.
Office hitting S. They don't know. They don't know if it's him or the clone. They don't know.
Look where Street Smurf is, though. He was setting up for that flank. Might be trying to go over the wall. Smacks and Rafa both marking him. They have no vision. This is just a raw read. Now, Rex is moving up. They're in the Dragon Pit. Could be starting this up. No vision at all from YOLO. Rafa moving backwards now. Street Smurf found out. Will be seen. Both teams are playing it very carefully, looking for the perfect moment to strike. Rafa, again, scares off Street Smurf. Neither team hitting the dragon yet. What kind of standoff is this?
Neither team has a way back out either, so the Bard ult is actually pretty scary here because...
Yeah, but here it goes. There's the wave. Street Smurf stunned up, and Rafa's finding his way in the backline. Emperor Divide pushes the divers away from the backline of Rex, though. Friendly Voidling drops. Fantastic Bard ultimate from Smacks. Locks down 3 people. Street Smurf, though, able to stay alive with the Kingslayer. Him and Mr. Thug Smoke on the run. Alk Battery is the one on the hunt. Cannot find it with the Q. Street Smurf under assault finds another kill. Shuts down Joshi. 1v1ing Smacks now. It's him versus the bot lane duo from Rex. Flashes forward, but will get punished for it. And ultimately, Rex finds the ace.
Wow, I think this fight ultimately was going to make the determination on who wins this game. And it was a lot closer than I expected it to be based off of how it started.
Yeah, Street Smurf takes so much damage off the bat here, but still finds a huge way to be relevant. Look at that Bard ult.
Yeah, going through that Bard portal at the end of this fight here was, I think, a little bit of a grief. I think they were greedy here with Joshi being so low, and they didn't have any vision in there either.
Yeah, it's pretty tough. They thought they could just finish him off real fast. Ooh, if he finishes his Q animation, maybe gets another W off there too. Could have been super, super close, but Rex, they clean it up. They already teleported Beora to the top side, who's getting the wave. They had extra resources from already shoving in mid, so CS will be in the favor of Rex as well as this dragon. They're busting it wide open, ultimately losing only 2 of their members for the clean ace.
Yeah, that's a 3k gold lead now at this point. It is. Wait, they didn't take dragon here?
they're scared of Bloon coming in and just smiting it. It's just smacks an Alk battery, so didn't want to chance it in the slightest. Yeah, yeah, for sure. If YOLO just wants to run down here and try rumbling again, they certainly can. I don't know though. It seems like they have to address their waves first though. Taking it slow. Warplaque is the one pushing mid.
Yeah, they have the vision control in there, so they'll absolutely see if Bloon tries to get this going, which he is right now. So either they're going to collapse this, or I'd expect them to go and work on getting vision control around Baron at this point in time.
Yeah, this could have been a pretty easy trade for Baron. I think if you're Rex, you take it super fast with Azir Sivir, but look at the Bard ult again from Smacks. Ornhorn lined up too. Warplaque taken down immediately. Bloom killed in his ultimate. Now Street Smurf knocked to high heaven. He's going straight back to the fountain. Beautiful execution from Team Rex here. They found their fight. They know what they have to do. Friendly Voidling, sure, he's taking the top side turret, but Dragon goes down and so will Baron.
They took that fight so confidently because they know that Set doesn't have teleports. It's just by walking down over there, they know it's going to be a 5v4. They have complete vision control in the area, and it's just an easy engage on a team that's standing still attacking a dragon.
Yeah, for sure. The dive tools from Rex are so huge, able to easily engage using Rafa's ultimate, using the Ornhorn, using Smax's Bard ultimates, which has been so on point. It's incredibly difficult to answer if you are YOLO. You don't have your top laner there. Now Warplaque might be going down again. Joshi just gonna be solo killing him here. Flashes out, flashes away from Bloon. But maybe worth, maybe a little bit worth.
Yeah, Joshi's on 2 items here, and he is just slapping out the damage at this point.
Oh yeah, Shadow Flame. That's gonna be the huge spike. Immense damage to these non-tanks.
Yeah, it looks like he might be going hat third, which, that's
for sure.
The typical path on every single control mage right now is those 3 items, and it is a lot of damage.
Yeah, now he's a full item up on Street Smurf 2. That's actually kind of crazy. Or at least half an item now with Rabadon's finish for Street Smurf. Just had to recall and get that finish, but half an item up on the Sylas. This is exactly where you want your Azir to be, scaling into the future, making Shurima great again. Fantastic for Rex. Look at Smax and Rafa, they're lining up, trying to find the pick once again. Just waiting, he's invisible, they don't know. Thug Smoke dashes away, but he gets slowed down by the Call of the Forge God. Bardold hits Warplaque, who's stuck in place. Gonna be easy pickings. Now the teleport from Street Smurf might just make him another kill waiting on the platter. The charge misses from Baora. Everfrost to try to disengage. The Ornhorn to try to disengage as well. Street Smurf taking so much damage. Showstopper to try and salvage the situation, but nothing at all goes in YOLO's favor.
Yeah, I was just looking at the Hecarim build here. He raised the Chainsword, which I don't see that much healing on the side of Rex. So I'm kind of questioning that build path.
Yeah, that's been super popular in Pro and just a lot of different junglers in general. They just use the AD and health and ability haste really, really well. It's a pretty efficient item, so gonna be looking good no matter what. I agree though. It will delay you on getting to your Mythic, to your Chem Tank to really try to engage these fights. I think that it's very tough to do. You're just down so far now. If you are YOLO, you're down pretty much 6k gold here, if not 7. Losing turrets left and right. Baron power play is immense. I feel like they might just slowly get bled out.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for them to find the picks that they need here. I mean, they have a few pick tools, but only if Hecarim can really get back behind them and try and ult in and then dash them back out. But it's going to be hard with so many, like I mentioned, so many disengage tools on the side of Rex.
Yeah. I mean, they have so few ways back into this game. YOLO does. They have so few opportunities to try to clean this up and find something and salvage the situation. It is just looking very bad. And so I think this is such a great showing from Rex to be the first match of Mythic. They've shown such a clean game so far, and they are going to be one of the teams to beat. I'm super excited for this matchup. Super excited to see how Rex would perform, because all of their members were talking about how washed they are and how scared they were going to be, but they still got it.
Well, they have a very good understanding of the game. I think, as we talked about before, Rafa, Joshi, Smax, they're casters for Proving Grounds, right? And Elk Battery, as well as Rafa and Smax, do casting for Wild Rift.
For sure.
They all know the game very, very well. And as we talk about with AD carries, you just right-click. Really the strength is knowing positioning, is knowing rotations, is knowing wave states, and they're showing that they know those things really well.
Of course, yeah. The minds are not to be underestimated across the entire team either. Bayora also going to be an EG analyst. They're just absolutely stacked with brain power there. Rex, oh man, for sure going to be the team to beat this season. I'm excited to see, BBZ play versus them, some of the other historically strong teams. UB, see if UB can stand a chance versus these Titans, but man, if I've seen a favorite for first place, I think this could be it.
Yeah, I mean, the Galaxy Brain himself on UB might have the brain power of a few of these people all alone, but I don't know if he can match up to these 5 Mega Brains on the side of Rex.
You're talking about Utility, right? Utility Monster, yeah?
Oh, no, I'm talking about Brian Sang, the Galaxy Brain himself.
Okay, all right, Brain Sang, bringing it up. I like it. Yeah, there's been a lot of questions about that. I'm very, very excited to see UB play later today. Going to be fantastic. But for now, return to this game. Rex just pushing in. They've got the priority in the bot side. Mid lane, going to auto shove as well, thanks to these super minions. Azir's turret and bot just gives them that extra little pushing power. YOLO's getting choked out. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, and I think this is typical Rex gameplay from the players I've seen play in previous seasons. They're playing it very carefully. They're just slowly choking them out. They send Ornn top lane because they say, hey, there's some standing gold up here in the top lane. We got to go and make sure we get a complete 3 inhib on them at some point here. And they're just pushing in the waves, and there isn't really much here that Copium can do.
Yeah, Street Smurf chunked out by that boomerang. Alk Battery on 3 items has that Infinity Edge power spike. Additionally, with the upgraded Kraken Slayer, that's the Wormfall and Sacrifice. So good. The Ornn items are here. Level 15 now means Bayora can upgrade another one of his teammates too when they regroup. Just so strong. Tidal Wave comes out, tries to find something. Alk Battery gets an easy spell shield off of that and just walks forward. Walks so far forward though that he's getting stunned up and pushed back. Emperor's Divide tries to save this one for Rex, but they could be in some trouble here. Bayora's arrived, God, knocking up the whole team. Rafa is going crazy in the backside too. He's gonna get exploded eventually. Street Smurf goes down now. Alk Battery and Joshi, the real carries there, uncontested. 4 members of Rex still alive, and I think they're gonna be able to end this game right here, right now.
I expected that Copium was going to engage on Rex at some point in time, but that was the best engage I've seen out of Rex for I think the entire time they played with FOF. Just walking your AD carry into the other team so that it forces them to attack your AD carry, and then you just kill them all, and somehow the AD carry doesn't even die. Yeah, brilliant.
All got bored. Doesn't matter. Walk forward. They win the game. Very, very clean from Rex. That was, just a clinic on how to macro. And by God, I'm glad we were here to witness it.
I think there's some tears in my eyes out of how beautiful that macro was. It's absolutely touching. Absolutely touching. Congratulations to Rex on their first win of Mythic, Day 1, Game 1, and we have so much more ahead. I am so excited.
Yeah, for sure. I hope you guys enjoyed the first match. I think we're going to be moving into an interview after this. Let's think about which the members of Rex we're going to call up here. Yeah, very, very great match for the first Mythic round.
Yeah, I think I was most impressed with Joshi, I think. Just some of that mid-game or early to mid-game play, just being able to get a lot of aggression on his Street Smurf, I think really facilitated and pressured the other team to not get there early late.
Yeah, just very tough. Seems like Copium couldn't find the lead they needed with Lucianami in the bot lane, couldn't find too much. Blue needed to maneuver around, help his lanes a little bit more, but it's another story. We're gonna be moving on for now. Let's do the interview.
cut us off halfway in.
The right one. Now it should be. Let's go. My microphone is going out. Okay, welcome. Hello, folks. It is Chris Hedgeworth back with you on the interview desk as I have been sharing the joys of running the broadcast with Mr. Ryan Theracles Rendon. So shouts out to Ryan. But I'm back. I'm here on the interview desk after producing our first game, and I am joined by Smacks of our returning championship team, Rex Regalis. Smacks, you yourself were a part of that winning team, but now you find yourself on the Rift yourself. Talk to me a little bit, if you would, about what it's been like to join this team on the Rift.
Yeah, hi. Well, first, thanks for having me. But yeah, I I've been working with the Rex Regalis boys for a while. You know, we're coworkers. We cast together, a lot of us, and I was coaching when we won the last event here at FOF, and that was a lot of fun. I was initially planning on playing on the team, but we had to have our ringer Doc sub in because I was a little too high rank to play last time. But with the rule shift, I'm allowed to play. So I'm really happy to step in and be support for the team now. Big shout out to Doc for stepping in last time.
I'm trying to remind myself. Was it I feel like it was the OG team back in the day. Was it Winter Fox where the coach subbed themselves in after like 2 or 3 weeks? So it's just
yeah, it is.
Did I get
exactly
it?
like that.
Yeah, it's exactly like that. I mean, you guys won, but you know, you're probably just like low-key a little embarrassed. You're like, I'm gonna have to get out there for you guys. Well, it was awesome first game for you. And let's talk a little bit about this draft for our first game of the return of Mythic. So it was an interesting, I would even say a LCS friendly draft. If you had Whiplo in the top side, because we had the set coming out of the other side of the team. But you folks had Ornn, Wukong, Azir, Sivir, and then you yourself were on the Bard. What did you think about what you folks had put together, your choices in this draft, and what you ended up against?
Well, first of all, for my pick, I said in the Trash Talk channel before we started the draft that I was going to select Pyke and win the game. And I think they must have been reading, which is kind of weird. I didn't know they were allowed to read that channel, but they banned my Pyke, so that's pretty unfortunate. I did have to go to my other champion Bard, but after they banned Pyke, I did let them know that I was going to pick Bard. So they did know it was coming. They still banned Yuumi for some reason. I don't know what was going on there. I told them that I was going to pick Bard. So maybe they only read it for the first part there, but you know, that's okay. I'll try to be more, I'll ping them next time. I'll make sure to do that against UB and TDE. I will ping them with my support champion that I'm going to pick. But other than that, on the draft, Rex Regalis has been a team that has been called, we're slow, we're calculating, we're like a macro heavy team, and, we're very good at that. So we want to just make sure that we stick to what we're really good at and just get that first win on the board. It feels really good winning that first game. So that's where you'll see a lot of the scaling picks that we went with today. But be aware. I will pick Bard in literally any single draft, any situation, scaling, early game, whatever. Same with Pyke. I'm just going to win on any champion that I am really comfortable on. So just, be ready for that.
I would like to poke you a little bit further, if you could give me some insights on the Bard, because you were the absolute CEO of Bard this game. You were unkilled. You had 3 kills to your name and 16 in the pocket for assists. And as I'm sitting here looking at the post-game lobby, it just now dawned on me that you weren't the Nightmare Mode Bard that I usually go against in my Silver Solo Queue games that takes Electrocute and takes almost my entire health bar at level 1. You actually are rocking the Guardian in this matchup, and yet you were still Mr. Kills out here, Mr. Assists. So talk to me a little bit about how it was just taking over the game. I mean, you're making these, making the ultimates look like they were targeted abilities.
Well, first, I do want to mention I did have my damage was in the top half of that game on Bard, which I think is very entertaining. I hope that Bayor and Rafa can get on my level for the next couple of games, because I can't carry every game. Those guys gotta puts up some more damage in the future. But all jokes aside, I've been practicing a lot of Bard and Pyke. I've been watching a lot of Busio VODs, the support for 100 Thieves Academy, and the way that he takes over the map is really inspiring for me. I've been playing a lot off of what I see him do, and specifically that Pyke, which I didn't get to play. I'm still a little bitter about it, but I've been practicing that a lot, and I think just playing these roamers that can really set the tone for the early game and get things started off on the right foot for not just the bot lane, but other lanes, is really how I enjoy playing League of Legends. So just that and the communication that we've been training up on Rex Regalis has been really good. So absolutely love playing stuff like Bard. And one other quick thing, it is my opinion that if you're dying, then you better be dying for a really, really good reason. in League of Legends, and I just didn't see a good reason to die that game. So that's why there's a goose egg there.
Oh, okay, that's fair. That's very, very understandable. You know, none of your teammates. There's no reason that you should die so that they could, you know, have the goose egg next to their name. If they wanted to have the 0 deaths, they would have realized their mistakes before they got in those positions. So it's better to let them learn those lessons. All right. Well, Smacks, thanks so much for this interview. Congratulations on taking our first win for this return of Mythic and for the return of Rex Regalis. Before we step away, though, your opportunity. Any final thoughts, anything to shout out here while you still are on the desk?
Yeah, we're gonna beat UB and TDE tomorrow, and we're gonna start the split 3-0. And also, shout out to my husband CJ. He is great, and I love him a lot.
Well, there you go. All right. Well, folks, that's going to do it for us on this interview. Thanks so much to Smacks, and congrats to Rex. We'll be back soon. Game 2 is in the pipes. We'll be back shortly.